3,000 tons of gravel, dirt, and sand once we start putting things down. Heckman Landscaping has donated landscaping services to do finish, excavate, seed, and fertilize 127,000 square feet of field. Everett Excavating, Wagler Excavating and Contracting, Catavage Trucking, and RKS Excavation, all three collaboratively made donations of equipment and time and services to complete the rough excavation for over 10 acres of ground. Under additional professional services, John Ray Contracting, John Ray, Lewis Construction, Jim Lewis, and Mosley Construction, Roger Mosley, all donated time and labor toward the construction by their dugouts, announcers booth, and concession stands. Lexel Roofing out of Sharpsville is going to donate the standing seam, not the material, but the labor to install standing seam roofs on dugouts, announcers booth, and concession stands. NBK Construction, which is Scott Cranach's company, donated his time and services to act as our professional project manager, which may seem trivial if you think, oh, he's on the committee, of course he's going to help you, but per the DCNR rules, you actually have to have a professional firm do that for you. So if Scott didn't donate it as his own company, we would have to pay somebody to do that. And then Settings Well Drilling has donated the service time to install the commercial well. URS Corporation is the engineering firm that's done all of our engineering documents to this point, with the exception of the original site plan, and they donated a portion. There's obviously a lot of expense related to that, so they weren't able to donate all of it, but they did donate a significant portion. And Scott Cranach again donated the electrical design services, as electrical engineering is his area of expertise. And again, that's another area where we couldn't, even if we had guys who knew what they were doing, we couldn't just go and stamp those drawings ourselves. You have to have a professional engineer and a license to do that, which he has. Flexospan Steel Buildings, donating steel roofing and trim materials for dugouts, announcers booth, and concession stands. H&H is donating sand and gravel material toward 3,675 tons of material required for construction of the parking lot and fields. And Johnson Block is donating concrete block toward the construction of dugouts, announcers booth, and concession stands. Elder Sales and Service made a donation of usage of some of their equipment and the time to haul it to the field when we're ready for it. And then one of the largest donators of cash was Mercer County State Bank. Ray Cottonball as the president, and the current board at that time was Eric Hoover, Robert McCain, David Eakin, Brian Raymond, Ray Cottonball, Joseph Pepperone, and Gary Stamp. So we thank Mercer County State Bank and the board of directors. Corporate donations committee goals, obviously, for 2008 are just to continue, hopefully, getting additional corporate donations. We are going to launch what we're calling the Jack Jones Memorial Complex naming campaign, which I'll get into here in just a second. We also are looking for more volunteers, obviously. The more people we have, the more availability we have, and the faster and more efficiently we can get things done. And one of the other reasons, too, that we are constantly seeking additional people, one of the core reasons we wanted to break the project up from just a project management standpoint was we also wanted to make it so that each piece was manageable, palatable, that people donating their free time wouldn't get overwhelmed in that. So the only way to keep that up is to have more people helping us. The more people we have help us, the less frustrated other persons get, and they don't feel like they're getting overwhelmed, and we can keep working on this. And obviously we want to raise additional funding for phase 2 and 3 of Jack Jones Complex. Just to show you a little bit about how can we give back to you, the persons, the companies, and the people who are making donations to make this happen is in a few ways. One of which we're currently ordering and are purchasing signs for all of the companies who are making donations for us, and they're going to go on the construction wall, the fences up there, if you've noticed that. They would have been up there by now, but we're just taking our time to make sure that we go back to each person and make sure they approve the sign that we're going to put up there, and we don't do something you wouldn't like to see with your name on it. So once those are done, those are going to go temporarily on the construction wall so everybody can see as things are going on who's helping out. In the end, we're going to develop a flagpole monument. This is going to be the center of the park. Something similar to what you've seen in Stoneboro, four-sided post for the flagpole, and on that will be a bronze monument permanently commemorating the persons who have helped out to make the park possible. This is a form I stole from somebody else. It doesn't reflect our project, but the idea does. We actually kind of took this from Greenville, had a similar campaign when they were building their baseball stadium, and they called it the naming campaign. And what we're doing is effectively the same thing that NASCAR does, not quite as bad. We're not going to put somebody's name on every single base and whatnot, but we are selling those items. And what we mean by that is we are name right some things. The park is obviously already namesake to Jack Jones, who donated the land originally, and that was the agreement. But all three of the fields need a name. Rather than calling them Field 1, 2, 3, we're going to offer those names as something that a corporation or a person, if they chose to, could actually purchase the rights, and that will be permanently up there. One of those to date is already sold. It was obviously Mercer County State Bank. And Kevin, did we verify, are they doing the softball field or the small field?
Right now they're wanting the first field to be built to be one of the little kids' fields. They want to sponsor one of the fields for the smaller kids, whether it be the girls or the boys. They do not want their name on the big boys' field. The first field is built, they want their name on that field.
So Mercer County State Bank has either the softball field or the small baseball field. Those will be the first two built, which means we got to clarify which one they want. I think initially they actually said they wanted a smaller field. So don't quote me on this. The softball field might be available still, but if it's not, it's the small field, and then the large varsity-sized baseball field is still open. So what we're going to develop, when we say we're going to develop this, is we're going to go through and we're going to pick the items that can be namesake and assign a value to them and basically try to sell that namesake right to somebody who's willing to purchase it to help us raise some funds. So the fields are the biggest one, and with that purchase, if you've seen the Lakeview High School, they have in the backstop the name on the back of the backstop. That's where the name of whoever purchases those fields will go. Along the smaller items, it will be commemorated somewhere on that field permanently. If you bought a base that you helped them sponsor the base, you're not actually going to get your name on the base or start to look like a NASCAR. But on other things there would be. So if somebody say wanted to sponsor a dugout or a set of bleachers or a set of fences, in a tactful manner, we will find a way to permanently commemorate who made that donation to that piece of equipment. Any questions on the corporate donations? Any of the funds that come in, anybody who's donated? If you've donated and have any questions, if I accidentally might have overstated anything, or feel free to come up and talk to us.